Holy crap. Finally made it tonight. I had so many issues with OBS trying to start the stream tonight. It was just incredibly stupid, but I ended up just causing all kinds of problems. Yeah, turned out to be one setting. A good old Google search solved that issue for me, but it started off bad. I tried to start at 6 o'clock on the nose tonight, and it was just not cooperating whatsoever. So yeah, there was a couple messages that were sent out like, gee whiz, I'm starting the stream here shortly, yada yada yada. And then I don't know if people were able to actually click into the live feed and see the messages as I was typing them out, but basically I was trying to keep everyone informed that I was having problems with OBS. And right in the middle of me trying to diagnose and fix OBS, I guess it was a good thing that OBS was failing me today, because right in the middle of it, I got a call from my director at work. And so I ended up having to take that phone call, and it was a good phone call. I always appreciate my director and management being upfront with me and informative. So I have no complaints about the phone call, other than the fact that I just had too many problems with OBS this time. I mean, I'll show you what the problem was. I discovered it, and I may have to adjust these cameras because I think the white balance is off on them. Let me try that real quick. So front view is the one that you guys are looking at. So let's try to fix this without messing up the video too much here. So we got that. Yep. Autofocus is on, all that good crap. One sec here. Default. There we go. A little bit better light balance there. And okay, so I'm probably gonna have to change this again when I switch to the next view. I try to make these videos, or at least these live stream parts, as raw as they get. Sometimes I end up being a talking head. I didn't shave this time. I guess this is a sample of what you guys are gonna get when Movember comes around. You know, not doing the whole shaving thing and stuff like that, trying to, you know, whatever. I need to shave before I actually do the videos. But anyway, let me show you what's going on. So what happened here is I was working on doing this. What I plan to do tonight is kind of watch to see if there's going to be actual viewers tonight, and you know, keep my eye out as I always do for actual questions so I can answer those. But at the same time, I was going to build the content for my next video. In one of the previous streams, I think it was actually last Wednesday, I tried to record some content for this video I want to put out, and looking back at it, I forgot some things, and I had an awesome viewer on that video that asked quite a few questions, and I was more than happy to do that. I guess trying to record content and do basically record content and do a live stream at the same time, it just, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. The first video I published on CompTIA Network Plus came out, and I used some live content that I created for that video, but I also ended up like re-recording a lot of the content, and I gotta get to a really good schedule and just do this. So I'm trying to put the content together right now, and one thing that worked about that last stream I did, where I went over the content or the last stream I did where I went over you know, trying to record about network topologies and stuff like that. It was a good practice. I'm not going to use any of the actual video just because it wasn't to the quality that I wanted at. I'm my own worst critic, but it was a good dry run, and there was a lot of areas in that video when I was like showing topologies and stuff. If you look at this presentation, it's very much, like, here's the topology, blah, 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 and then I try to do like a laser pointer and kind of say, well, this is this is that, blah, blah, blah. But the problem is I didn't have like any visual representation, and in that stream, I said, oh, well, in the actual video, I'll include this image, or I'll include that image, or what have you, and so it ended up being bad. So I think I'm going to, for now on, keep my recording of content separate from the live stream. And the other thing I notice is, like when I'm doing a live stream, I'm constantly looking at the comment section and if there's anyone watching, and that's why you see me look like up to this direction a lot. My screen up there, if I were to share that with you, let me switch it here. Blah. Eventually I'll fit. Well, this is a screen, so if I share that screen with you, you'll see that I have the messaging and stuff up there for that. And the reason why I have the messaging up there for that is I want these live streams to eventually be a good source for people that have questions in studying the material to better get answers. And I've said this time and time again in live streams that I really want this to be like a classroom kind of setting where you get basically the same kind of education that you would get if you were doing paying like a private college or another college to sit there and basically have a live instructor in front of you. And I want to do the same kind of experience, but do it for you for free. So, yeah. So anyway, I was putting this content together, and I was just going to keep the live stream going while I create the content and put it together. So you can kind of see the back end of it and how I do it. I think this is what I'm going to do for now on, just because really it doesn't work out when I try to, as I said earlier in the stream, it doesn't work out when I try to record content and do a live stream at the same time, because I'm either looking over here or looking over here, and a lot of times I have to remind myself, hey, I need to look at the camera, and it's just, I don't know, it's just too busy for me to really do that. So when I record content for my videos, I'm just going to have to make that the only thing I do during that time is record content for the video. And so if I have to focus on looking at the camera and then going back and watching the video and seeing if it's what I want it to be and stuff like that, I'm just going to have to do that and get on a better schedule about doing it. Because at this point on Net Plus, I've only released like one video. At this point in time, I mean, I've been doing these live streams for almost 2 months now, and I really wanted to have a lot more videos out by now, but I get pulled in all these different directions, and one of them being work, which is important. I gotta pay for my house and gotta pay, make sure my wife, has, food for us and the kids on the table and stuff like that. And this right here is just a side hobby for me. And, I know that kind of sucks for someone that's actually studying to get their Net Plus. If they're waiting on videos or something like that, they're like, hey, it would have been nice to have that video like 2 weeks ago. And I'm trying to get to that. I'm trying to set a schedule. My wife is pretty accepting of the whole thing. But I got a lot of stuff going on at work at the same time, as far as like, you know, part of the company is being sold off to another company and things like that. And there's things that involve me that take some of my time. So I will continue to do these live streams, and I will continue to put content together. I realize that my releasing of videos is going to be a little bit slow, but I mean, I open up these questions or these live streams so people can ask me questions whether I have a video out for it or not. I mean, really, I don't mind answering questions on A+. I don't mind answering questions on Net+, or again, anything that has to do with the IT industry. If I can answer the question and be knowledgeable on it for you, I will. If I can't, then I have no problem finding the answer and getting you the answer, because that's just what I want to do. I mean, if you come on here and you ask me a question like, if I got so-and-so's computer and I want to do this and this and this, and gee, how would you fix it? And you want me to do a step-by-step there so that you can make money off of me telling you how to fix a computer, that's probably not going to happen. If you want me to show you how to fix something and it's technical related and it's for your increase of knowledge, I'm more than happy to do that for anyone. And I'm really happy to show people how I research a solution and stuff like that, because in the end, it's all about sharing knowledge and getting as many people out there that can do this stuff adequately so that customers don't get screwed over. That's my main thing. So anyway, I've gotten off. This has been a weird day, but again, let me show you what was wrong with OBS. So let me get to the right screen here. If it wants to do it. Okay, so you're gonna see some tunnel vision here. That's all right. There's nothing on here I have to worry about anything on. But what the problem was is I went to settings here, and this is something I haven't found before, but I went to settings, and apparently what was causing my problem is this bind to IP. For some reason, this was set on another network card. I've never personally made this setting. I remember this setting being already set previously as far as like being on default, but somehow, I don't know if it was through an update or something like that, this particular setting right here was bound to one of, I think, my virtual IPs for my virtual implementation for testing and stuff. And so it was OBS was trying to broadcast to something that didn't exist. So changing this to default, which I got from, crazy enough, a YouTube channel, a YouTube video on how to fix that. You know, I corrected that. As soon as I corrected that, everything started working again the way it was intended to work. So, you know, it's good that things finally worked out for us, I guess. So the funny thing about the whole situation, and I think it's funny, but I'm also appreciative of it. During that time, I actually had someone subscribe to my channel. I think her name was Laura Lady 1, and welcome Laura Lady 1 to my channel, and I appreciate you subscribing, and hopefully I don't let you down in the future. But hey. So let's go on. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting together my slides for the video I plan on doing, and again, it's on topologies, basically describing what a physical or a network topology is. Physical and network topologies are both basically the same thing. You also have a logical network topology, which I talked about in my previous video that I did on last Wednesday when I was answering questions for a viewer. But in that process of trying to create a video on that and answering his questions, I found very quickly that my slides were inadequate for what I was trying to do. So I'm trying to be a little bit more informative when putting these slides together. So as I said previously, it was just a jump cut to like, gee whiz, this is this, and this, and this is this. And gee whiz, I'll use like a laser pointer to tell you what's what. And yeah, that just doesn't work. So what I'm trying to do now is, I got this, I can get rid of this. So we got the advantages of bus topology. A bus topology, as far as it's considered in a network topology, or physical topology, is pretty much outdated. And this was a question that was asked by the viewer previously, and I told him that, you know, some of this stuff is still used today, and I was correct in saying that, and he was also correct in saying that this stuff is no longer used as far as like we don't really use coaxial anymore as far as you know, a computer-to-computer connection for bus. When I was talking to him about topologies, I was more of like a logical topology is still relevant today. For example, token ring or a bus logical topology is still relevant, and I think we just got our cables crossed on that one, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep the live stream going, and I'm going to kind of go through the process of building my content for basically building the content for the actual video, and then kind of go from there. So if anyone joins the stream and wants to ask questions or whatever, I'm gonna leave it open to that. If you're watching this stream after the fact, and you're like, gee whiz, he's not including a bunch of information, I invite you to join me on a future live stream, or even leave questions in the comments of this actual video, and I will be more than happy to answer questions for that, and also cover those in the following videos. So if you want these videos to be less boring, ask questions. Otherwise, you know, if it's boring, it's mostly because I've run out of things to talk about, and anyone knows me is I can talk and talk and talk and talk. So I am just going to do this, and let's see, this networking, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, and scalability. So I'm using, I've been very open about this. I'm using this book right here is my guideline for my videos. I kind of moved away from that at one point and tried to follow this, which was that I'm still following. I'm still following both, but I'm using the book itself is more of the guideline for like how I present information, and I'm not copying out of the book. I am just using the way they present the content as a way of like a kind of a loose script for how I do it. So like all the content that I'm going to provide, and you'll see because it takes me forever to do, all the content that I'm going to provide is stuff that I've created. Obviously pictures, I'll give everyone credit for the pictures that I get from, and usually that takes a while for me to do as well, because I try to find pictures that are either public domain or Creative Commons, where they allow you to use their picture as much as you want, as long as you give credit. I have a problem using stock sites. I don't like the fact that they want to charge you up the yin-yang for a picture. I mean, I understand photographers trying to make their money. I understand that, but there are some pictures that just, I mean, like, really, you want me to pay for that? It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, I'm gonna be, as I've said many times before, I'm using this book here as my guideline for how I put the videos together, and kind of the general flow, with the idea that if you get this book, or you subscribe to like Safari Books Online or something like that, you can actually read that book, and then with my videos kind of follow along and just give you a different perspective. Does this book have its own videos? Yes, it does. But I've always found that, the way people present information from one person to another, a lot of times is really different depending on the presenter of the information, and people learn different ways. So this is just another aspect, and more than anything, it's something for me to get comfortable and help people out. So I'm going to use this as a guideline, and I will refer to this a lot. The CompTIA Network Plus Certification Exam Objectives for the N10-007. And I'll be referring to this a lot, only because, well, it's the guideline for the actual exam. It's what you need to know to pass the exam. So I'll be referring to that a lot. And obviously, wired topologies, blah, 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 fun stuff. So anyway, yeah. So if you see me like looking to the side, it's because as I said, I'm using the book as a guideline. So I usually use slides as like a way of like reminding me where I'm at, because if you haven't been able to tell by this video so far, or this live stream so far, I have a tendency to kind of go off the rails a little bit, and so yeah, so that's pretty easy there. So that's close enough. We'll do that. That'll be good. And then go down to the start ring topology. We said we're going to follow the book layout, so let's do this. Start topology there, and then copy this, copy. I know I'm plagiarizing my own stuff, which is, I guess, fine. Just not reinvent the wheel every time. So let's do this. So video. So again, if someone were to ask questions on this live stream or a previous live stream, I would be answering the questions now, and that's something I look forward to doing once this channel builds. I feel that as I do these videos, if I get to a regular schedule of some sort, they'll allow people to actually see a lot of my videos. I might have some people ask actual questions, and that would be awesome. If not, I'll probably just continue to do these live streams just because, well, what the hell, you know. They're kind of fun to do. what's especially fun is like when someone like last Wednesday joins the live stream and asked all those questions. I really enjoyed the heck out of that. I felt that that was probably one of my better live streams, just because I was able to answer questions and also allowed, myself to show people that I am knowledgeable in the subject. So anyway, this is a good video. I mean, I don't think I got too many views on it yet. Let me see. I think I've mentioned in the last stream, the one thing I absolutely hate is the new layout they have for this. It's just so terrible. God, is it terrible. The layout for the YouTube Live, it's just, or not YouTube Live, but to control your channel and stuff, it's just terrible. It's god awful. Yeah, I got 8 views on the video where it was on the 10th, where the viewer asked me all those questions, and again, I think it was like one of my best live streams. It just seemed like things kind of flew and flowed pretty well. So, it is what it is. Either people will come and watch or they won't. It's whatever. Whatever. Yeah. So anyway, this this is going to be another short stream. I'm just going to cut it off now. No one's joined the stream. So I'm going to cut it off now, but my wife just got home, so I'm going to definitely go see what she's up to, and we'll get this going and kind of go from here. So if you were with the video to this point, more power to you. Amazing. I'm sure. Sorry I didn't include a bunch of information this time. I had a crazy time with OBS this go around. But hey, if you want me to make less boring live streams, I would highly suggest, if you want less boring live streams, ask questions. On either previous videos or on the actual live stream itself. I'm be super happy to answer them. So anyway, I wish everyone a good evening. I will be live streaming again this Sunday at 6 p.m. That's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you again so much for joining me, whether you were on live stream or you've watched this video after and wanted to see what crazy things a nerd would do online. I appreciate it so much. I wish you all the best, and see you Sunday.